We're starting. Oh wait, I forgot. Hi everyone. This is Boss here with Seven commentating on the match of H2O versus LTC. We'll be your commentator for this matchup, and we started a little behind, and the ban pick for map is already done. The I think H2O side banned Lakes. Sorry, H2O side banned Moonlit, and LTC picked I think it's
I was living.
Ever Sleeping. Yeah.
Yep. And looking at it, I'm not sure whose side is starting first. I can check real
Mm.
quick. Mhm. I will let you know in a second who's the starting team because I haven't really checked. So for in terms of like okay, we have H2O starting on Survivor side first. Mind you that um LTC won the coin flip. So now we see a very similar situation to the first matchup we streamed before. We also had Moonlit Ban and Eversleeping pick. And as you said before, it is a very good map for hunters regardless, but still a bit better than it is Moonlit to survivors.
Yep. Um, I have some. I have some. Hold on, I will fix that later. We
Mm,
are still. I think we're still waiting on the staff to confirm the map and characters, right?
yep. And also make sure everyone to root for your favorite team as showing support is very important. And yeah, make sure to tune in everyone that you know. And yeah, I'm definitely excited for this matchup as well as I was before. Maybe my voice sounds a bit different, but that might be from the 2 hours of endless speaking.
Uh, I have some. I have some voice also here. Let me fix that very quickly.
Mm-hmm. Now we're setting the custom right now, and we're seeing that obviously Ever Sleeping Town is a map. We have no hunter bans or global bans, but we do have 4 survivor bans. And if we have to explain how the new global system works, the first 3 survivors that are picked from the survivors will not be used for the next rounds. And for the hunters, each hunter that is picked in their round will not be usable in their next round, while they will still have a ban, and then it goes on to more.
Yep. And with this ban and pick system, you would usually result in a situation where BO1 and BO2, the hunter is extremely has the advantage over the survivor and kind of um
Mm,
starting from BO3 and above, the survivors slowly gains the advantage because the broken hunters are essentially all banned.
mm,
Okay, we're getting into the bans and picks.
yep,
The hunter side immediately banned mechanic and first officer on this map. So it's threatening Goatman or Hullabaloo. I think Hullabaloo over Goatman because FO kind of counters Hullabaloo over more than Goatman.
yep.
So
I can agree to this.
uh,
As of right now, um, we still see that the survivors are kind of thinking about the picks. Now, personally, I would like to see a goat man to kind of make things different. We see a lot of yellow blues, and Enchantress and Puppeteer pick. What do we think of this? Because
Enchantress.
lately we've seen a lot of Enchantresses, even in real matches.
Yep. Puppeteer is a solid pick into almost all metas, like in the current meta, like the Opera, Ivy, Goatman, Hula Blue. And Enchantress has been a consistent pick actually against
Mm-hmm.
especially Goatman and Hula Blue. Um,
Mm-hmm.
because of her ability to have small stuns, it disrupts the hunter's chasing ability rather great, I would say.
Yep, we also see a Gravekeeper pick and then a Coordinator ban. Now, what I think is that this team is already very, in my opinion, very solid. Um, I agree with the picks that were made here. They did global ban the Gravekeeper, but I would say that is for a good reason.
Yep. Grave Fever selected here, although it hurts in a global ban, but this is looking like a very solid comp for at least the one escape. And if you're
Mm-hmm.
able to at least one escape in, uh, you know, what's it called? If you're able to at least one escape in
Yeah.
B1, it's actually very good and it puts your hunter at ease.
Yep.
Um,
I agree. Um, for I mean, in this particular scenario, I think that Prisoner is a bit of a weak character where, like, yes, he does have some kiting ability, like, he has his shock, and he doesn't have a vaulting debuff, but at the same time, it is usually maybe not the recommended pick for a round one as of right now. Maybe more of a round two pick, but round one is more about the
oops.
tanky survivors, I would say.
Yep. And thing, but I would assume the prisoner will be running suicide build, and likely so is the enchantress.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Well, Puppeteer, maybe we can expect something from Puppeteer like even tied broken windows because usually Puppeteer doesn't need flywheel because his puppet kind of covers for it. So in a way, when you are against a hullabaloo, usually only the rescuer is the one to be bringing borrow time, but usually because you don't need it against this hunter. So
And the hunter is Bula Blue. It has been honestly to be expected. This comp is really strong against Goatman, and I mean decent against
mhm.
Bula Blue, but Bula Blue would be a better pick here than I would say Goatman is. Going to the area selections, we have a usual cross area selection. It's but from my personal experience, I feel like Kula is able to chase Gravekeeper as a first chase. It's just um
Yep. It is very common when obviously we've seen like a lot of matches thanks to the qualifiers of Call of the Abyss. We've seen that Gravekeeper or in general rescuers are actually a good target for Hullabaloo, and the reason is because they are the safest characters to go in for rescues, and when you remove that kind of safety from being able to rescue. At that point, you're kind of tricking the survivors into having to risk getting stuffed, even.
yep. And um Kula is not scared of someone with multi hits as much as Goatman is. Um so someone without a window, like rescuers usually doesn't bring window, and his ability is only about taking tanking hits is actually not a bad chase target for Hulabaloo. Starting
Mm-hmm.
off, we're seeing nostalgic on Hulabaloo, but Hulabaloo with no detention, which is like I think a common build in the most meta, and Hulabaloo here faking his way from go into the puppeteer and straight to middle, and then scare him the middle off, and I think trying to find the prisoner in the end.
Mm. Now, I will say that this is already a unusually slow match already for Hello Blue, because usually the kite starts very early, and we already have free ciphers that have pretty decent progress to it, I would say.
Yep. Um, Although the start is rather slow, but I think because he disrupted many ciphers, it's actually somewhat acceptable as a position to be in, because the this chase is like this way of playing also delay the cipher, so it's up to the enchantress to kite how long. So she needs to essentially kite longer than usual.
Mm-hmm. They doing a really good job already. Now, the cipher progress is pretty good, I would say, and she hasn't gotten any hit yet. That's what we have to consider.
Ooh, this is looking like a wow. That pallet stomp means she's able to get onto the tram, and uh
That is already a really long kite. A free cipher kite against Hello Blue is not something that should happen,
yep.
and maybe this will be an opening for this team to get at least one escape. Maybe even
Ooh,
a tie.
an insane snipe. He must have practiced that, or very well played from the hunter side. But also, Enchantress is already kiting a very long time,
And
considering the
also,
Kulabalu. Yeah.
Enchantress now is going to have to
Ooh.
die.
Unfortunately,
Um,
Enchantress dies here and is in basement, but the ciphers is more than enough for at least the tie to happen. Um, since Kulabalu has no detention, uh, it's looking like a very good tie position for the survivor, but it's
mhm. But also, it is basement
yeah,
Hullabaloo.
it's
This is gonna
basement
be very
Kulabalu.
hard.
And personally, I don't think you should rescue here. It's
Yeah, no, I feel like they will lose the advantage they had, but also I feel like
yeah,
in a way, the fact that this rescue even happened is surprising in itself.
yep. But because this rescue actually might lead to a three-man elimination, because if the hunter gets a double down here,
Mhm.
or like not even if the great people wasn't even being able to rescue at all, it's like very problematic because now you have two people in basement. But the great people are doing an extremely great job, not only being able to rescue against the hula blue in basement, but also not giving a double down. So then, he's able to finish the cipher of the puppeteer, and puppeteer able to come here earlier than like what is expected of a double down. So, actually, because the puppeteer has tied, we're actually looking at a three escape position for the hunter,
Mhm. Yep.
for Survivor side.
I
Cypher is
it
prime.
is it is definitely different than what we were expecting. Considering Hollow Blue is such a strong game, we shouldn't be seeing this kind of end game.
Yep.
What can we say that happened in this match? What
Uh,
caused this?
Enchantress kited a really long time and played extremely well with the
Mm.
items at her disposal. And not only that,
I,
the Greyfear doing an extremely great job at rescuing. And
and
you know,
this might also be a four escape
wait,
because the dungeon is right there.
this is a four escape. A four escape in round one against the Hula Baloo. Wow, I cannot believe it was a what a great job done by the Survivor team. Uh, especially by Enchantress.
I'm honestly very surprised. I did not expect the Hello Blue to ever get a four escape.
Yeah.
But yeah, definitely the enchanters did a very amazing job at kiting, and then being able to get the. I mean, there obviously were different mistakes along the way. Like for example, the kite shouldn't have lasted this long. It shouldn't have It shouldn't have even started that late. Also, there was also the fact that Enchantress was able to get on tram. And then even if she got cheered in basement, now when you cheer in basement as Hullabaloo, you kind of have to stuff the rescue
Yep.
because that is your kind of your job as Hullabaloo. And the fact that he couldn't do it also gave the survivors another advantage. The fact that he didn't go after a prisoner was also another factor, probably, because then the Cypher Rush was just very good at that point.
Yep. But overall, I would say the server did an extremely great job in terms of the um
Yep,
you know
yep.
and
It's definitely very easy for the team of H2O, and definitely harder is on LTC's side now because this now relies on the survivors' hands, and as we know, round one isn't known to be beneficial to survivors. And to be fair, they could even bring a hunter that isn't meta just so they can have a Hullabaloo or Goatman run too. I think they should do that.
yeah.
But if um they want more points, they could still go Hullabaloo or Goatman, but I think that I would take advantage of the fact that Survivor's got a force cape.
Yep. I
I mean,
I would personally think Wax Artist here is actually much better
yep.
than any of the metas.
I was thinking that too actually. I mean, when will it happen in a tournament? Like there are chances that your survivor team gets a force cape at the beginning is is really low. So the hunter has a lot that they can do and still have an advantage.
Yep. Um, I
So
mean,
right now we're slowly getting the people in, but is there something else you would like to add over this match or just in general?
um, we cannot even say that Hurabaloo was not playing well because from the early game, it really does show like his understanding towards at least the VC comms and stuff. So I would only say congratulations to the Enchantress. She played just insane, I would say. Yeah,
Mhm.
it's
I mean, uh, um, it was just unexpected. That's all I really have to say.
yeah.
Mm, I mean, I would still like to say that the hunter still what did a good job in terms of like getting the snipe on the enchanters and everything, but clearly there's obviously stuff that is lacking in the gameplay because I mean to be fair, Hullabaloo is kind of this character that eh, you kind of have to get at least at high,
Yep.
like at the very least.
It's definitely the hunter's mistake in BO1 to not being able to get a tie there because
Yep, but you know, it also may have been nerves. It could have been a lot of stuff, to be honest. We don't know. And you know what? It's okay because this is only round one, first half. They may still get a chance to redeem themselves like it happened before. So we'll see how it goes. Now we're starting with the picks and bans.
oh, a priestess and something else. They banned him. Understandable. Honestly, this
Mm-hmm.
map is very strong for priestess to work on.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yep. I mean, we're still waiting on the second ban. It looks like they will be banning Priestess and
toy
another
merchant.
fire merchant.
Interesting
This
ban.
is curious. I feel like it could potentially be um I mean I don't think this is gonna be a Hullabaloo or Goatman, to be honest, seeing
Yeah,
the Toy Merchant.
this doesn't seem like a meta character if it's banned in Priestess and Toy Merchant. Now,
I
from the
mean,
Survivor side, they are picking Wailing and Puppeteer, very solid and
mhm.
strong combo.
I mean, at this point, even with just the Puppeteer pick, I'd honestly even go Wax, as you said.
Yep.
Like, I'm sorry, but Wax is just so fun to watch, and I really hope that we get it at some point. Um, yeah.
We don't talk about a mistake I made. I sent I I had a giant seer logo on the screen. I didn't
Oh my
realize it.
gosh. It's okay, it's okay, don't worry about it. We like Seer in this household. But in terms of Seer, like speaking about him, he did get in fact banned. Very standard ban. And I do not know what happened in the last ban. I think that something got banned, but I cannot see it.
It shows not selected here as well. I'm unsure as to what is happening, but yeah. The last pick for the Star side is Acrobat, and this is a very solid comp with Puppeteer Coordinator, Wowlin, and Acrobat.
It's a strong team comp. Um, do I think it's Forescape? A Forescape team comp? No, not really.
Yep.
Mainly because of the coordinator. The rest I can still see, but the coordinator is this character that as long as you chase her first, even if even if the hunter gets a one kill now, it doesn't matter. Like
Yep.
they'll still have an advantage. So
Um, it's
yeah,
actually really hard to see like a four escape from this comp. I think they're giving up the chance for a four escape, maybe
mm,
for like at least a tie here, and then perhaps going for a four escape in the next round, which is also
yes.
smart to do.
Yes, I mean, to be honest, you can't expect round one of Forescape, but even then, trying to save a Forescape for later round may hurt them later on.
Yep.
Now, the Hullabaloo is picked. Now, I will say that it's a good choice, you know? Like, obviously, Hullabaloo is meta. Do I still think that um, a non-meta pick would have been better? Yes, mainly because then in round two, the hunter probably would have had a bigger advantage
Yep.
to win more time.
Um. Yeah, I think no matter here, especially like the likes of Anne or Wax Artist, is like, or even Fool's Gold, honestly, based on his name, but is really better because he would save a really meta character for build 2 and give himself more chance for 4 kill. But I could also somewhat see the logic behind Hullabaloo pick as he just wants more points for build 1 and to further increase the points gap between the two teams.
Mhm. For builds, we see that Wildling has a standard bar time and tide. Puppeteer has bar time and broken windows. Acrobat has full kite build, and Coordinator has flywheel tide. Now, it is surprising to see Acrobat being the one on sweep, but at the same time, considering everything, maybe it does make sense because at the end of the day, it's Hullabaloo, and Hullabaloo is just such a good character in general.
Yep. And it's interesting to see they put Wilding in middle despite the Hunter's Hullabaloo. It is I don't think many people realizes this, but Wilding is actually chaseable by Hullabaloo because the if you're able to hit like 3 stacks on the Wilding, he will be hit off of the boar instead of like the boar usually taking a damage, and because it counts as a skill ability damage. So and
Mhm.
Wilding. But I guess the Wilding being not being the only person bringing tide in this match, it's actually not that worth to chase the Wilding, but we will see how this Hunter plays out. Oh, I forgot. Fuck.
So we're seeing the start of the match already, going towards middle, probably to disrupt the decoding a little. I don't know if he's actually going to commit to the wildling. It
He's
seems like
committing to the Wilding, but the Wilding gets on board extremely late and is able to hit at least 2 stacks on the Wilding before Wilding has like the speed boost. And I think Wilding's getting insta-killed here. Wait. If he's able
Mhm.
to hit him off the board, then... Oh, but he leaves the Wilding. Uh, he must not have known that the Wilding is able to being hit off the board with the skill, but
Mhm. I mean, at this point, it wasn't even that bad of an idea to go after the wildling because, as previously mentioned, removing the rescuer from Hullabaloo kind of guarantees you to at least get a double down. Usually, um,
yeah,
you you also see a lot of double downs with rescuers, but it's less likely at least. But also this match, just like the one from before, is having a really slow start for
yeah.
the hunter.
The Hunter seems to be lagging, uh,
Mm-hmm.
but is finding the only person with suicide build, Acrobat. Um, Acrobat's using a ball, moving away. The Hunter still seems to be lagging.
Mm, I
Hits the
mean,
second ball, Acrobat jumps off the... Oh, oh, gets
right
the
now
snipe.
still gonna hit. I'm very confused looking at the cipher progress. It's very spread out if we look at it. We have
That's
5 ciphers started.
that's interesting. I guess the coordinator must
Uh,
have redone another cipher after starting like 60% on cipher. First down on an acrobat who has suicide build. This
um,
is looking like a tight position for the hunter, which is
mhm.
good
Which is
because
still good.
you know.
I will say that the lag is kind of setting them back.
Yep.
Um, eh, so I feel kind of bad, but hopefully they're able to fix it. Um, but now we see that he's through the middle, applying pressure to 2 ciphers at once.
Hmm. But now this. Oh, but he finds the violin regardless. But I think the violin is able to perform a free rescue. Yep. Uh, and yeah, it's a free rescue. Wow. Um, no, not really. He's gonna force the hit onto the Wilding, but will he be able to find the Acrobat after this?
Mm-hmm.
He is gonna
Now,
be able to find the Acrobat, you see.
yep. I mean, cipher progress right now is good, but we still need to remember that he's on sweet. So I feel like the 1 kill is at least guaranteed.
Yep, because Acrobat is on suicide build, and it's extremely likely that he's not gonna be able to survive in an endgame against the Hula Blue full presence. Um,
Mm-hmm.
did not find the coordinator, and so I think coordinator is gonna be able to rescue this, and it's gonna look like a four-man pop-out, but
Now, this
um.
depends on how fast he gets the down on the acrobat. He's not
Oh, misses the
misses again.
gap! That's interesting. And
Now,
tied.
might be able to kill the acrobat before then, but it seems like the coordinator is gonna keep um, helping him. But it seems like the pop will happen before he dies. No, I think
But,
they're still gonna pop. Yeah.
yep. And then it's a 3 escape. Wow. Unfortunately so, the uh
Yep. There's a really small chance that he makes it on time for
yep.
the other day, unless he finds the coordinator. But the coordinator seemed to be on the dungeon, so Well, yes, it is a free skip, which, again, very unexpected outcome for Hullabaloo. But also we have to remember that this
Yeah,
Hullabaloo had very high ping. Um,
it is.
but it
It,
is still a round one win for H2O.
yep. It's the points right now are 6 for H2O and 3 for LTC. It is Well, it is rather
Mm,
surprising to see a Hula Baloo getting a four-scape and a three-scape in B1.
yep. I mean,
And
um, at the end of the day, as we said before, and we'll say it again, this all depends on the, you know, um, obviously depends on the hunters, because if a hullabaloo is, you know, where they need to be, they're obviously gonna have an easier time with it.
yep,
But um but then what I think is that, personally, this the reason why this last match was a four escape was, not a four escape, sorry, was probably because mainly the acrobat didn't have borrow time, and so not getting the chase gave him the opening to, um you know to get at least one kill.
yep.
Hopefully I said that correctly, because I'm, yeah.
Um, if Because we can see from last match as well, the Hula Baloo did not have detention. So if they just pop the Cipher and Acrobat has borrowed
Mhm.
time, it's very likely, especially with the lag of the Hula Baloo is having, that he might be
Mhm.
able to get a forward escape here in double.
So, as of right now, we're waiting on the people to join the custom. Um, Now, what do you think could have been different in the scenario?
Mm,
Like, just in a general setting, not just this match alone, but just both matchups and the way the both survivors and hunters decided to play.
well, I would say the Hula Baloo in the first matchup definitely seems more experienced than the second one, but the
Mm-hmm.
Survivor side on the first matchup is most definitely knows how to counter against the Hula Baloo, and um, it's just really, I would say, unfortunate for the Hula Baloo to get four escape there because um, you shouldn't really be able to get four escape as a Hula Baloo. But for
Mm-hmm,
round two,
definitely no.
um, the biggest point think the Hula Baloo made mistake was actually at the start where he was chasing Wildling. The Wildling gave him a lot of distance to catch up, but uh, he for some reason either lost the Wildling or chose to not hit the Wildling when the Wildling has two sacks on him already, and went after
Mm-hmm.
someone who's on the other side of the map, and that really costed him a lot of cipher progress. And I think that's more or less the reason why he was three escaped.
Yep. I mean, at this point, it probably would have even been better to just keep choosing the wildling. Like, you're still removing a tide. He doesn't have a kiting build. He only has tide. Yes, it is a wildling, but also, um, again, you're kind of removing the only safe rescue. I mean, there was coordinator that was kind of covering for him. At the same time, I feel like at that point he should have just gone straight for the acrobat from the beginning, or the coordinator.
Yep. Um, the Wilding definitely gave his chances if you look at that point. So,
Mm-hmm. And
hmm
also, again, was it were it me playing from the hunter's side? Now, obviously, it depends also on what you're confident in, or also if you're like a one, if you only play that character, like only Hullabaloo or Goatman. But personally, I would have still played a different hunter.
Yep.
And the reason why is because even if it didn't go well, they still had the advantage after.
Yeah.
So I think that that was a potential that they needed to take advantage of. And again, when will it happen again that a team gets four escape as survivors? Like that, even in round three, it is very unlikely. Like obviously we've seen it before, but that's because it was a Joseph, and Joseph is this character that if you don't apply pressure, he's very hard to get kills with, and he's a very dependent on the communication of survivors, which if it's good, you can't really do much.
Yep. And it seems here that LTC, in round two, LTC bans arms and H2O selects Chinatown. Uh, looking for the H2O is looking for the hunter side to get more points because Chinatown is seems to be like it's usually a good map for most hunters. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm assuming their survivor is confident enough to play in Chinatown to at least get a tie in them both, uh, based on their round one performance. And so that's like Chinatown. And Arms ban on BO2 is a rather, I would say, a fairly normal ban to happen because both of the round two hunters, Opera and Ivy, performs, I wouldn't say not well, but worse compared to maps like Chinatown or Lakeside.
Yeah, I definitely agree. It's a map that, I mean, in certain areas is good, and in certain is not. I mean, we've seen operas like always try to avoid arms when possible, but then after they did also start to use Peeper's opera on arms, which also gave the opening for operas to be able to play. Or even we've seen abnormal opera. We've seen so many things during the last 1 to 2 years that I have, even if it's the same hunters, which may bore a lot of people, I still think that it's interesting to see how both hunters, but not only hunters, survivors evolve to the continuously changing playstyle.
Yep. It's definitely very interesting to see the meta shift around the year. Oh, and we're going to the match already. The
Yep.
global bans are Hullabaloo, Puppeteer, Gravekeeper, and Enchantress, and the Hunter seems to be banning Forward and Wildling as a first ban. Uh, not looking to get harassed today, it seems. Hmm, what an interesting ban.
Yep. I I'm I'm confused at the forward ban. I mean, I can understand Wildling before this kind of this character that, I mean, is good, but not against Shadow or Opera.
Yeah, it's nowadays a survivor you usually would expect on BO3, and
Yep.
since he doesn't go well into any of the um
Mhm.
metas.
Yep.
Uh,
Definitely not good
yep.
for the current meta.
For the hunter side, for the survivor side, they banned Goatman, which is a usual ban, and is selecting prisoner and something else. Prisoner and seer. Well, what do you think of the prisoner pick in this map, Seven?
I mean, I definitely agree with a round two prisoner, and the reason why is because from, removing Hullabaloo and Goatman, you have a potential to kite even with prisoner on Sui, whereas obviously against Goatman and Hullabaloo, it should not happen. So, in my opinion, Prisoner here is a very strategic and good choice from the survivors because it's like it's like you put it this way: if you don't chase the prisoner, he's gonna decode. But if you chase the prisoner, he's 100% gonna bring Sui and max the snooze, which is gonna slow down the countdown of the rocket share by 9%.
Yep.
So
The hunter is banning antiquarian and is not looking to get harassed at AL, but the survivor side picked novelist immediately after. After the novelist buff, he has been a really consistent survivor seen
mhm.
in both rank and tournament plays. I
Yep.
am interested to see how this plays out,
Um,
especially around
I
Chinatown.
love to see a I love to see a good novelist, and also we see first officer. This team,
Mm.
this team come from the survivors. I would say is pretty good.
Yep, a very solid comp
I
with
mean,
very good support and slight chance to harass.
I would say the only issue with this is that Seer and Novelist both get heavily countered by Shadow. That's the only issue here.
Yep.
But we may still see something different than Shadow. I mean,
Um,
Chinatown is good for Shadow. It is um it is a this Chinatown is this map that works for a lot of also niche hunters. We're
yep.
talking also about Breaking Wheel and Clown. Those
It's
are very exciting to
interesting,
see.
and the hunter banned acrobat as their last ban. Looking at this ban pick, it makes a feeling of clerk because clerk is afraid of a lot of harassers and is also afraid of an acrobat
Mm-hmm.
or
Yep.
doesn't want to chase an acrobat. So, will we see a clerk today? I'm interested to find out.
Mm-hmm. I mean, again, if we see something different than the current meta, I'd be very happy. Oh, and just as I was saying,
We got a
Dream
Dream
Witch here
Witch.
is very cool. Um,
Hmm.
okay. Um, it is good, but it can be a bit tricky here, especially with the novelist. Novelist can kind of counter, the situation of like sandwiching between the two
Yep.
leeches.
And I think if the hunter has intended to play Drimwitch, it would be better for her to ban Seer because Seer can be a really strong counter to Drimwitch,
Mm-hmm.
considering everybody is now 3 hits. And if Drimwitch hits the Seer's owl with a leech, then it counts as a removal of leech, and that's really bad for the early game for Drimwitch.
Yep. Now, definitely expected the spawn from both the survivors and hunter. For builds, prisoner, as we said before, has Sui full kite. Novelist has Flywheel Tide. Seer has Borrow Time, Broken Windows, and First Officer has only Tide. Now, although I will say that this is, I think these are good picks and persona builds. I will say that they were probably not expecting the Dreamwish at all here.
Hmm. It's actually the Dream pick itself is quite surprising, but does make sense, especially on this map. Very strong map for Dreamwitch. We have seen uh Pistopper using Dreamwitch in I think last Koa on this map as well to get a 4K for his team.
Mm-hmm.
Was it last Koa? I cannot remember.
I'm sorry. About what? Sorry.
Pistopper playing Dreamwitch on this map.
I think it was last CA, but yes, it was definitely last CA.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure. But we also do know that Pitt from NAU has a really good and consistent privilege.
Yep.
And
Looking to
also,
find the prisoner immediately at the start of the map. The prisoner getting mind gamed, I think, somewhat.
mhm,
And is found in the middle of the open. He has to use the shock here, and hopefully he might be able to get into the. Oh, just take some hits at the start of the match before Patroller is even up. This is looking really good for the Hunter. The Seer Owl is back, but so is Patroller, and Prison might be dying here extremely fast.
definitely. Also, because of Patroller, which may be a bit of a hassle to deal with. But maybe we'll see that he's gonna be able to cut it out, but it's gonna be very hard, and he runs into the leech, dying
Dying and
very
only
quickly.
one cipher. That's this looks like a 4 kill position for the Dream Witch. Very well played from the Dream Witch side. The
I
first
mean, um, looking at the cipher progress, this is definitely not looking good. Um, I mean, as of right now, these survivors need to find a way to somehow make this rebound happen. Okay.
FO hit makes a hit and prisoner gets away. Unable to hit.
Mhm.
Unable to get a double down, but this
Gets an
owl I
owl
think
from
is
the seer.
redundant because he is not able to make it out of here since the
Mhm.
oh wait, but the trump card of the uh trump card of the Dream Witch is not up, and he was able to lift that after like far after the tide is over, and we're looking like potential tie if he was able to kite a little longer here. Even though the cipher progress is not much, four people there's like 3 ciphers Dakota, and the last person Sapphire is around 24%, and um yeah, if he's able to kite here, it's totally tieable.
Yep. Already doing a pretty good rebound, and look at the cipher progress we got. Having to blink on him, I would say that he did a pretty good rebound. I don't know if we can talk about like Flurman endgame rebound. This also depends on how the rescue happens and how they're gonna manage this, but
Oh,
there is a chance. Oh,
the first officer getting down here is
that
this
might be
means
game changing.
this would mean that 4-man pop out would not be possible because the cipher is definitely not enough for a 4-man pop out, but we are still looking at a possible tie in a 3-man pop out here if the rebound was good.
Mm-hmm.
Flywheels the blink and does not get double down here. This is crucial because the Dreamwitch now no longer has blink to kill the prisoner. It has to um gets body by herself. That's
Yep. Now, we have still 4 ciphers left, but um, the progress is spread out very well.
yep,
The issue is that they need to get these ciphers done. And if they don't, it's gonna be very bad for them. Did fly well, but unfortunately
unfortunately.
couldn't do much.
Yep. Um Prisoner is
They
getting
have to be
eliminated,
very careful
and
now.
then there's 4 ciphers remaining. The hunter has blink, however, does not have blink on any of her leech, and all leech on the board is removed. This is tieable if the second chase, which I assume is the
Mm-hmm.
seer, um,
Yep.
does a good job at kiting.
Yep, I mean, the seer has only broken windows, which isn't the best against Dreamwitch, but still is a full health, so maybe there is a chance to at least try to get some time for his team to decode as many ciphers as possible, and also he can farm owls this way. So, in a way, it is still okay.
Yep. And essentially a free hit onto the seer, but the cipher is only 1.5 remaining, and there is a first officer with a syringe on her, so if he is able to at least rescue twice, this is looking like a tie position for the
Mhm.
survivor side. If the Dreamwitch isn't able to immediately kill the seer. The Dreamwitch here is not going out to add more leech, even though her leech timer is ready. The seer survives this hit, but is still dead. Um, Now is the Dreamwitch able to protect both the cipher and the person on chair? It would seem like she's able to. Then it still looks like a 4K.
I mean, we're looking at some really good pressure. I think that this match may be a little over for the survivors in terms of like the fact that she's pressuring that Cypher is an issue for them because that is the 50% ciphers. And right now, putting another cipher
Yep.
would be taking a lot of time.
Unable to fly with the blink for a second time, the Nautilus goes down, gets chaired, and the Seer got targeted and was down now. So um,
Mm,
looking like a looking like a 4K position again. But uh, yeah, I don't think you should chair the Seer here because I think FO with the chasing
yeah,
ability of a Dream Witch, it's likely you. Oh, he's gonna rescue it.
I mean, I guess that he rescued because he still has the syringe.
Ah,
However, the fact that he rescued now gives the Dream Witch a chance to actually be able to 4 kill, whereas before he could have got a one escape.
yep.
And it, yeah.
Very nice Palestine from the novelist. First off, there's a huge to fall. They are going for a two-man endgame, it seems, instead of trying to go for a. I mean, that's actually the safer play because, to be honest, you really shouldn't. You know, like no
Mm-hmm.
hunter will give you the dungeon in tournaments unless you know the cipher is popped. All ciphers are popped, and you're at the gate and stuff.
Mm-hmm. Now, the first officer was working on a cipher for a little bit, or was it the novelist? I did see the progress moving just a little bit, but I mean, at this point, it would be very hard for them to even get a one escape.
Yep, very, very good side, very good play from the survivor side, telling the full health to be on the cipher, and also very well played from
Mm-hmm.
the Dream Lich to uh, not only protect the cipher itself, but also being able to chase the half-hour Nautilus and forcing the first officer to start another cipher. And yeah, this is gonna be a long match, I think, if oh, just like
Mm-hmm.
the Dream Witch waiting for the blink.
Definitely. I mean, I guess they've got time, so we're just gonna be seeing a long game of pressure and also just a waiting game.
Yep. Um,
Now, she does find the first officer and leashes him, which is great because now he can keep track of him even if she's not chasing him, and finds the novelist. So this is actually very good for her.
oh, has Narvis has no items and only a single window here to play with. Blinks the novelist down. Do you cheer her? Okay, you do not cheer him.
Yep,
Um,
I agree.
First officer
Now we're
deleted.
just. I mean, at this point, she should have still seen where the first officer was before,
Yep.
but
Oh, but if
now.
she uses the leech onto the novelist, I think the first officer is able to get the cipher to at least 90% and have a
Mhm.
two-person endgame. But novelist did, maybe miscommunication, but the FO did not immediately get on the cipher. But yeah, it's still around 90%, but
Decides to
86%.
pick up the novelist, maybe because he didn't want him to work on it. I actually think this was very smart from the hunters,
Yep,
immediately being able to understand what could have possibly happened if they didn't take the matter into their own hands and pressuring the ciphers.
yep. The novelist has self-heal primed, but is not getting up. Um,
Yep.
a very intense match, and they're really fighting for that one escape. The hunter has not yet spotted the first officer. Oh, has spotted the first officer. Um,
Right now, it looks like she's. This looks a bit like a shadow mesh if you think about it. Like with one leech staying on the survivor on the ground and the other one going after the other remaining survivor.
yep. This looks oh, the novelist
Might
self
get
heals.
heated.
And the first offers are immediately going for the Cypher, but the Nautilus got blinked down almost immediately, and um,
He might
re-leeches
even be
the...
able to actually pop here.
Oh,
Oh.
primes the Cypher, but is unable to pop it. Pops the Cypher, drops the yeah, it's still 4K. Very smart, very nice job from the Hunter to pick up the Nautilus, like
Mm-hmm.
and forcing the pop to happen, because now even if the pop happened now, it's still 4K, and there's not much the Sara can do because the Nautilus is on the ground.
Kind of doing a little dance of victory here.
Yep,
Showing off the oh, got stunned, I think.
that's done.
But we're gonna at this point we're just waiting. I mean he might even bleed out, but I think that before that he'll just die. And also
Yeah.
because she might have blink on the main follower if needed. Yep.
Okay.
And this is a 4 kill from the hunter side. Very good job. And I will say that in this particular match, it showed how how well versed this person is in Dream Witch and how much they understand what they need to do to assure a 4 kill here.
Yeah. Very well done from both factions. It was a really good match. The survivor side also was from a started as a bad start, eventually made it to popping ciphers, and almost got a one escape against the Dreamwitch with such a great start. And
Mm-hmm.
the Dreamwitch side also very well played in endgame to be patient and didn't allow any chances for the survivor side to get the one escape they want. The
Mm-hmm, definitely.
points right now is 6-8 with LTC on the lead.
Well, just before we're seeing round two kind of spin on like the situations are the tables are turning, whereas before we had H2O having the lead while now LTC is one of the lead. We do remember that in this case we will get to round three no matter what, because even if LTC were to get 4 killed here just like this, um the third round would still happen because H2O won the first one. Therefore, regardless if it's a tie or a win or a loss for H2O, we still need to see this until the third match.
Yep. No, the survivor side for LTC only requires a tie here to regain to continue the lead,
Mm-hmm.
and um, but at least the one escape to keep the score from getting a disadvantage. If if the hunter gets a 3 kill and the one escape for the LTC side, then the scores are even from 9 to 9, but with a disadvantage on the rounds.
Yep. I mean,
Oh wait, no, the rounds are
um,
also evened, right?
yep.
Yeah.
I mean, regardless of everything, as I said, we will be seeing round three, which I mean, is good for both teams so that it it means that there is obviously some good competition going on between the two of them. So I'm very interested to see, and I think we got a sub in from the from H2O because I'm pretty sure that this person was on the survivor side of the team, but right now they're on the hunter side.
Hmm.
I mean, right now we're in round two, second half, and what we can expect here is either do a very standard pick like Upper and Shadow, or do more niche. But regardless of everything, I think that in this scenario, you just try to get as many points as you can. So maybe risk it and go for something that is not meta
Mm.
and get a 4 kill maybe. Um, but it all depends on how safe the H2O wants to play it in this scenario.
Yep. I personally am actually expecting Opera or the Shadow on this map because it's Chinatown is an extremely good map for both of these hunters, and I'm more
Mm-hmm.
inclined towards like meta here than non-meta because
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Yeah.
But obviously, it's always nice to see something like less popular. For example, I keep going back to Wax Artist. Sculpture, even actually, Sculpture is also decent on this map.
I mean, we go back to Wax Artist a lot because he's proved himself time and time as a very strong hunter, not only in chase but also in pressure.
Yep,
He does have counters, but at the same time, it's there's also this factor that Wax is very consistent usually, and it's very hard to see a wax artist completely lose a match. And also sculpture, we've seen that now I don't know if you know, but a lot of people in Chinese server think that sculpture is a pretty good character, at least in rank wise. She's pretty good, but you never know.
yep.
Sculpture is pretty fun.
Personally, when I'm playing Survivor, I really hate going against the scope good Sculptor because
Mm-hmm.
the amount of pressure she applies to the first chase is just almost threatening. Oh, and going into the ban pick.
Mm-hmm.
Um, the Hunter side for uh, H2O banned Priestess and Seer as their first ban pick, a very common ban. Although I feel like it's rather uncommon in the current meta because things like
Mm-hmm.
Knight or even I would say like FO or something is actually much more threatening than those two nowadays. Not threatening, but you know, um,
No, I definitely agree. Now, considering they just want to go for a tie, going for Psych and Embalmer here is a really great pick. I mean, I think this combo is very good, and the idea of this is probably that you have to play somebody with either Warp or just an ability that kind of works like Warp.
yep. Um, Fire Investigator ban, interesting.
I mean, uh, at this point, I don't know if Fire Investigator was gonna be the pick. Fire Investigator is definitely good.
Yep.
But at this point, I would just try to ban kind of those more annoying characters. Like, yes, you're probably still gonna. I mean, you're definitely going to round 3. So at this point, just try to get as many points as you can and try to ban what's threatening. Fire Investigator definitely is a really good kiter because I mean the fact that he can block off areas
Mm,
is very particular in itself. And obviously, we see the anti-Grin ban, which is exactly what I was talking about. If you're in this kind of situation, I think that banning anti-Grin is the right move.
yep. Um, Most definitely so. But with this ban pick, it seems that we're looking at something of an opera. Um,
Yep.
which is I would say pretty good against this combo, and they locked in Prisoner as their last pick. So
This is a weak team comp against Opera because we have Psyche who is a Brock header, and yes, she can take free hits, but still against Opera, you you can't really do much. Obviously, you're gonna break broken windows at the very least, but Embalmer also isn't that strong. Prisoner, I mean, maybe you can still put him on Sui. I mean, I think the Prisoner pick here was good.
yep,
It kind of balanced the issue they had with the fact that this team was weak. Like you can say that this team is weak, but because there is a prisoner now on this team, it's the same thing as before. You either chase the prisoner and he stays on cheer for a long time with the support of Embalmer occasionally, or you let him decode and it might lead to pretty good Cypher Rush from the Survivor side.
Yep. And especially with this picks, it's really hard for the Opera to actually full queue if he does not get a immediate breaking
Uh,
wheel.
I
Interesting.
was I was actually gonna say before, I didn't mention it, but when you said you don't like going against Sculpture, I was gonna say, you know what I really hate? Breaking Wheel. But then thinking about it, I was like, nah, there's no way we'll see Breaking Wheel, right?
Yeah.
Well, I guess I was wrong. And this is definitely the type of hunter I do not want to go against. And if you think about the fact that they might have expected Opera, they probably don't even have Flywheel.
Yep. And it's actually a really good pick here. I have
Yep.
heard about like Spirit Snow and her breaking wheel. Um.
Well, sounds scary already if
Yep.
they're known for a character. Um Now, obviously, we see some for some reason Psyche has flywheel tied. This confuses me a lot. The Embalmer though has broken windows. I'm at this point, even if you have a prisoner, you could even go for the Embalmer first at this point.
Yep.
Because he's so fast to catch up, and even if he embalms himself, he can still reach the coffin in the time in the 8 seconds that he uses it.
Yep. And it's actually interesting that the Psyche and the prisoner both don't have borrow time, and this brain flywheel. Are they are they expecting a breaking wheel and like playing this comp to bait it out?
I
Um.
honestly do not think they expected breaking will. Well, I mean, it gives me like a doubt because of the fact that the psyche is bringing flywheel, but at the same time, not really. I mean, I I still don't see a reason why Psyche would bring flywheel. Really, like even I mean, at this point, I would rather see Psyche bring Sui
Yep.
than Tide, really, because yes, she can take free hits, but we need to remember that she is still a character that has no abilities. So, mm, yeah,
And I'm interested in how this match will play out.
yep, very scared to see this breaking wheel.
Yep. Okay, going immediately after the embalmer at the start of the match.
Yep, I definitely agree with this choice already.
Oh, missing
Should have.
the thing, but still makes the hit.
I honestly thought that was gonna be a spike, but I guess not. And I think the hunter expected it too.
Yep.
I think that was just really close to it. Now, I see that the control on the braking wheel is honestly really good. And yeah, I think that the down is gonna happen anytime soon.
That happens immediately, almost immediately. So not even a full cipher on the outside of the map.
Yep.
And
And a reminder that the only cipher is like at almost 80% is because of the prisoner's connection. So he did even if one cipher is almost done, the other two ciphers have not really the best of progress.
it's interesting to. Oh, interesting kite route. Not being
Doesn't
not
even need the blink
yep,
for this now.
not being able to waste the blink here. Um, immediately second chaired with two full ciphers not being decoded, and the other two ciphers that's decoded here, one at 50%, one at 80%. The cipher is extremely slow compared to the down speed of the breaking wheel. Um, and the Embomber is on chair, so I'm questioning the reason behind the save. I don't think there's a point to save here anymore.
Yeah, no, I don't. I think that the save here is kind of like a wasted tide, I would say, because this might be um a very necessary resource later on.
Yep. Um, full
Now I'm
presence.
pretty sure
Embomber.
the he's like trying probably to. Um, he has a snap now, so he's just gonna snap
Yep.
and gets the first down. And there's still two ciphers left. Now the progress is looking okay, but we need to remember he's full presence now, so it doesn't really take him long probably to get the
Hmm.
down he needs.
The prisoner,
Already getting his
however,
second
has
prisoner.
flywheel. Flywheel is
Yep,
the full presence,
very
and
smart choice.
but he needs to remember that the hunter has a nice trap into the prisoner, and I think the prisoner is dying here because he has his first presence, and it's not. Oh, leaving the prisoner and going after ciphers. The cipher rush is extremely fast. Like even though the death of the
Yeah,
bombers is fast as well. Finding a psychologist. Psychologist also has
it's
fire for whatever reason. I don't think the
I
Will
don't
was
think the hunter
expecting
was
that.
expecting. Yep.
Uh,
It's definitely something that you don't expect. You're like, at this point, what he's doing, is a spread damage, because if he does, that means that obviously the survivors don't really get a chance to, um, you know, rescue. So
yeah.
right now, they're in a really tough position. Like, yes, the Cypher's at 60, but if he's able to find the Psych, who should be the one I mean, not even the Psych. Uh,
None of them has
this
borrowed time, so nobody can actually
yeah,
rescue.
they won't actually rescue.
They are only going for one escape here, it seems. Um,
Yep.
oh!
Waiting.
Oh, never mind. I thought he canceled the snap from the
Putting
cipher is
switching to
popped.
peepers already. The psych decides to pop the cipher, but she's immediately spotted in the open.
Yep.
And this seems like it will be
4 kill.
a 4K. Yep.
Nice trap. Immediately down in the psych, and then the prisoner is not even able to go back to the. Not even able to still heal to full. Because of the peeper.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah, and he's just so quick to get from one side of the map to the other.
yep.
And we'll slowly see that they all will get shared. Now the psych might be healing now, but I don't think she's still gonna be able to do it on time. And even if
Oh,
she does, oh, she does. But
she does.
prisoner is on first chair, and he probably has snooze, so this might be an issue.
Yep.
Trying to look for the psych right now and cannot seem to find her. And then does seem that he's looking for her, and now notices that probably
I think he
noticed where she is.
noticed the hair of the
Yeah.
psych. He did.
And decides not to fly with that, probably to try and keep it for the dungeon, but at this point there's a really hard chance that they actually make it, and that's also because of the fact that prisoner is still not dead. So yep.
Yep. Baits the fly of the psych, and then it's 4K. Very well done by the breaking wheel side.
Yep. And
Start.
the fact that LTC was threatening H2O, trying to get a bigger, amount of points and a bigger advantage, and there you see the breaking wheel just, you know, completely, um, it was a really good match from this breaking wheel, and obviously you can't really do much against Cypher Rush when you have a decoder against you, and probably just and just the tide and everything adds up, and so the ciphers gets popped, one after the other. But I still think that this, from the Breaking Rules point of view, was an almost perfect match.
Yep. And that is 5 extra points for H2O. So turning the tide yet again, with H2O in the lead and LTC in the um following the
Mhm.
trace.
Yep, we will be moving to round three, which might be, should be the last one. I don't know if there is a chance at making this a round four. I really don't want to go to round four, but
Yeah.
let me think about it. How many points did you say they have?
Well, 11 to 8. So if
Um, there's a free. I mean, if one,
no, there
I
seems to be no way to make it to a four-man.
well,
Um,
hopefully. I, I'm sorry. I'm just a bit tired. Also, the team that has the point advantage now, in general, just has the advantage, because um, this match may also end in the first half.
yep.
Depending on how many points they get. If they get a 4 kill or 4 skip, remind me please who has 11 points?
H2O. If H2O gets a 4 kill or 4 escape here, the match is over immediately.
Yep, yep. So this is definitely more pressure for LTC. So, well, they at least won't have to deal with this.
Oh, LTC has to get a 4 kill, and the what's it called? H2O has to get a 3 escape in order to for round 4 to happen. It won't happen any other way.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but looking at the points, yeah, it's actually it's obviously the disadvantage on the LTC side, but if the hunter is able to get a 4K and survivor is able to tie, then it's a win for them.
Yep. Now, I've I'm pretty sure that these kind of win. I mean, I know that win conditions are usually a bit harder to understand because they go the first two rounds. Just reminder for everyone, are decided by rounds. So even if you have a point advantage and you get one win on one on, like, if you get round one win, for example, like this matchup, one round win from LTC and one round win from H2O. What this means is that actually it's not even a win, it's a tie, but just in general, um, round one and two matter only for rounds. From round three, points matter, and if there's also a tie in points, the what is usually calculated is the time of the matches. So it is very confusing at first, but what I can say is that if H2O right now gets 4 kill or 4 escape, there is too much uh of a points difference, so they automatically win. So as of right now, I would think that the best course of action is to make the hunter go first and just hope to get a 4 kill.
Yep.
Um so at this point, what could you um what could you even possibly expect at this point? Because round three is this round that usually you can quite literally bring any kind of character.
Mm, well, for round 3, there's no bad bans, and the map selected is Red Church. Um,
Yep.
on Church, I would, and if HDO requires a 4 kill on Church, you usually would see a clerk. Considering Church is a small map, and even Opera, honestly, Opera on Church is not bad, but hard to win. Very easy to tie, but hard to win.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Yeah, even Dreamwitch actually, if it's but Dreamwitch is banned for their team because you already selected Dreamwitch in BO2. Then I guess Ivy, if she isn't banned. Um,
Mm-hmm. As
yeah,
expected, we see LTC survivors going first because usually hunters are more likely to get 4 kills rather than survivors are to for escape. Even if it's possible in round 3, it basically is just bring out all your weapons like I don't know, you literally can bring out anything.
yep. Um, yeah, it's like it's a round for specialty hunters to appear.
Yep. I mean, at this point, I would like to see something weird, like a really weird pick. I'd be happy.
Oh,
Like when hmm?
would be interesting. Mad Eyes is extremely good on this map because he can block off the middle. Extremely
Oh
relevant this on this
yeah,
map.
I hate Mad Eyes so much in this map. It is so painful to go against him, and it takes a lot of
It would be a
how
20
does
minute match minimum if it's a good Mad Eyes,
yeah.
and I personally am not willing to commentate on a Mad Eyes match for 20 minutes. But it would be interesting though to see a Mad Eyes happening.
Yep. I definitely think that well, now we have okay. Looking at the global bans, we have Hullabaloo and the Breaking Wheel ban, and we have a coordinator, embalmer, first officer, wildling, psych, and puppeteer bans. We have some characters that you would want to keep for example, psych is a character that if you want the four escape or just anything like a good result is kind of really good character, because the distant healing is very good. But they still have a lot of characters they can use. They just need to use them all right now.
Yep. Um, Locking out a psych before round 3 is somewhat acceptable if they have like barmaid, which assuming they do, but also the hunter can
Mm-hmm.
just ban barmaid and like you're a little
Yep.
annoyed by that. Um, yeah, the hunter is pretty snow and um, she has put extremely well performance with Breaking Ball last round, and I'm really excited to see what she would bring to the table this match.
Yeah, looking at the situation, it's just very hard for the survivors of LTC right now. I'd be in a lot of stress personally.
Yep.
Um, maybe we should bring out a Joseph again. I mean, it's the same map.
Yeah. Honestly,
And
I'd be interested to see that.
I mean, you know what else I would like to see? Even as you said before, even a sculpture, it would be so good to see. Um, there are a lot of characters that you can play, but I feel like all these characters that can apply pressure are so good. And
Yep.
I mean, even Mad Eyes, unfortunately exists in this game, so he can be picked, but we'll have to see, I guess.
Yep. Uh, is this next match gonna be round 3 top half? Yes, this is round
Yep.
3 top halves with H2O hunting and LTC surviving.
Yep. Sounds right. And right now we're just waiting for teams to be ready to start. Um, so um, But right now, I'm just talking just to fill in the time.
Yep.
But
What are you interested
at
in seeing in BO3 7?
in round three, mm, okay, this this is obviously very silly, but I really like always seeing. It's very niche and it doesn't happen very often, but I like to see Hacksport or Nightwatch. Um, I really like these characters. Also, I am thinking there's also Hermit, but in Red Church is kind of a hassle. But mainly what I really like seeing a good Axeboy or Nightwitch gameplay. However, these are not traditionally win characters, which is why I don't expect to see them very often.
Yep.
But I miss seeing the qualifiers when Ling would play Axeboy. It was always so fun to see.
Yeah. Oh, going to the ban picks, Priestess and Seer, the usual ban. And it's a very good ban, I would say, for BO3 because
Yeah,
most other options are locked. But I think the Hunter failed to forget that Knight exists, and
yeah. At this point, I would just play Knight.
yeah,
He's, I mean, a cleric ban. Are we expecting? I mean, I guess we're expecting something specific. Maybe they did their research on this person. I'm not
yep,
too sure. Cleric also could have been a good pick thinking about it now, but I guess we won't be seeing it. And as you mentioned, we might be seeing a knight.
yep. Uh, Clerk and Ivy banned. So inviting a Goatman and Opera, interesting. I think the survivors also forgotten that Goatman exists, and Barmaid
Yeah,
and Knight played into Goatman is not great, I would say.
yeah. If this hunter knows how to hunt a scout, then this would be a turning point, and would just probably get them the win. Because Goatman and Hullabaloo, no matter the map, are just so strong.
And the Hunter banning female dancer, interesting. So looking at Goatman, very likely Goatman because
Mm,
female dancer is counterplayed in qualifiers against Goatman, it would seem.
yes, I agree. Dancer is also pretty strong on Church because she can create a loop in middle,
Yep,
and she's just so annoying when she does that. I still the time I played her, but I definitely see how it can be annoying from the hunter's point of view.
yep.
Um,
Oh, the survivors
and
now.
the lesbian is novelist.
Yep, the survivors not realizing their mistake started trying to pick magician, which is a counter against uh Goatman,
Goatman.
but
Mm-hmm.
um I think just one magician doesn't really help much against Goatman,
I also
and
I also don't think that Prospector is the greatest against
yep,
um
Goatman.
Goatman.
Um, Hunter banned novelist and the survivor picked prospector.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting comp. Then the rescuer must have been knight, and yeah, this looks
Uh,
not
I
great
mean,
for the survivor,
I
but we'll
mean,
see.
we need to remember that when we're talking about Knight in a competitive settings, this character is this character is usually used as a second rescuer and never as a first rescuer because if he fails his prediction, he's gonna die very quickly. Usually, we see Knight without Tide because of the fact that he is a sub rescuer, or you see him on like Flywheel or Broken Windows, or even both Tide and either Broken Windows or Flywheel. And yeah, as you said, this might
Yep,
actually be a Goatman
yep,
because the
and
hunter is hovering over it. It seems.
Goatman is it would seem selected, and um, yeah, we're seeing a Goatman in BO3. What a miracle!
This might be um very hard for them right now.
This does not look well for the Survivor side, but maybe they have the confidence against the Personal Scoutman because perhaps they've trained a lot um, against the
Yep.
Goatman.
I mean, honestly, at this point, they may have realized a bit too late that Goatman was still a possible pick.
Yep,
And the issue with that is that um, whether they forgot or you know or they were prepared, the issue with that is that it's still Goatman.
yep.
You can't underestimate the Goatman.
Um, and keep in mind, the lead is in Personal side. If H2O gets a 4 kill as a hunter, they just immediately win. So
Mm-hmm.
for LTC, they have to at least one escape the Goatman, and uh, if they want to escape the Goatman, then their hunter needs at least 4K to win. Anything less than 4K is a win for the H2O side.
Mm. Yep. This is just now I wouldn't go after I don't know, maybe I would go after the knight, but it depends on how fast you're able to get the first kill, because then knight can still predict attack and maybe like stalemate inside the cage so to buy more time. Yes, you're removing the rescuer, maybe that's a good strategy, but you're also giving more the time to decode.
The
But
first
also, oh sorry, you can go.
I was saying the first kill is extremely important. Removing the knight, which is the rescuer, is good, but the goatman has to be able to almost immediately kill the knight
Yep.
within around 2 to 3 cages for it to be extremely worth. But we can see here that the goatman is bringing excitement against this comp. Excitement goatman, and faked his chase towards the knight and is actually going after the barmaid instead, which is a very smart move. Barmaid,
Yep.
almost impossible to fight against the Goatman because you should never be able to make your heal in time if the Goatman has enough cages. Immediate first hit onto the barmaid. Cypher progress is less than 20%,
Also,
and
mind you that while this Goatman wasn't chasing, his energy was building up. So, therefore, it might be a bit hard for this barmaid. Might
oh,
actually get the drink off.
misses the hit. Oh,
Gets
unfortunately,
her,
was
gets
not
her
able.
right as the drink was about to end. Very unlucky.
Yep, the Cypher is not looking great. It is less than one full Cypher done, and yeah, we're looking like a very possible 4 kill position, and um
Mm-hmm.
honestly it's impossibly hard for me to. Oh, but the knight gets two predictions correct. He's able to almost rescue without any inconvenience. Gets a free rescue off.
Yep.
um
Now, this might not be as good for the hunter. However, we do still need to take in mind that the cipher progress is somewhat okay. Just I don't think it would be enough for against a Goatman.
yeah, I don't.
However, I don't know. The excitement pick wasn't really something I was expecting here.
Yep. um Most definitely gives them a slight chance at time, but remember that Goatman is a hunter that relies on energy, and if you don't rescue, um
Messes up
yep,
the prediction
messes up the
is
prediction,
gonna get
messes up
the
the cage, being able
yep.
to rescue, and I think lives off of this cage because it's not 10 seconds long, but the next cage is available, and Barmish is gonna be dead here. Yep.
Yep. Now we have three ciphers that are like 30, 40, and 45. But Knight has only one item left. He knows that he only has Tide at this point. Um, we see that he switches to
Immediate teleports onto
EKP.
the Magician. Sees
I
the knight's
definitely agree.
footprints. but mistaken. I think he mistaken knight for rejection or something.
Oh,
Immediate hits, amazing distance control by the Goatman, and wow,
and
just
almost gets the hit instantly, but flyballs and then dies right after.
yep.
This might be a 4 kill just because of this. And
And
also, I
this
would like to say that
basement,
the basement is there.
this is looking like a very hefty 4 kill for the Hunter side. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
honestly, I have no idea how the survivor is gonna recover from this.
Yep. I mean, even if they try to finish their cipher all on time, he can still go pressure. There's so many things this Goatman can do, and just thinking about it, this will be very hard on them. And now he just applies pressure. This knight is now stuck there, kind of missing the cages just slightly. And knight goes down, where the prospector moved away from the cipher already. The progress isn't too bad, but at this point, I fear that they have to try their best for even one escape.
Yep. And remember, they need this one escape to continue the second half of the round. And if they get 4K here, it's just GG for the H2O.
Hmm. And also, there's also the fact that um, the second kite should have been longer because of the fact that, thinking about it, the first rescue, the first free rescue was good for the survivors, but then, you know, you had the situation where there were there was good cipher progress before you know,
Yep.
the magician died. But then the magician had a really short kite, which kind of gave the Goatman the opening, and also he died right next to basement.
Yep.
So,
The first kite was extremely fast. The death of the first kite was extremely fast. So even though the rescuers was even though the rescuer played extremely well, unfortunately, though, if the second person wasn't able to rebound off of that, he finds the prospector here. Um,
yep,
yeah, 4K position. GG's. Very well
yep.
played by the Hunter side, and
Yes.
it is unfortunate for the survivors.
So we still see the prospector still trying to kite it out. Uh, uh,
Uh,
Mistakenly pulling the hunter in. Now this knight will probably get up anytime soon. At this point, they're just trying to play the short game to try and get at least one escape out. But it seems to be very hard at this point, considering that um, you know um,
yep, it is. It does not seem like a one escape. It seems like a 4Q and sees the knight. It seems sees the knight. Oh, but it's doing the trick. So there's a trick with hunters going against the beat out strat. You can simply bring one character over to the next and trip over them.
yep, yep. That is very good because even then, knight is on first tier. Probably has might have snooze.
Yep.
So at this point,
Oh, GG.
you're just waiting.
Finds the footprint of the prospector, and it's almost
And
impossible for the prospector to finish. Okay, very nice cage and
okay. Mm-hmm.
double bat, and this is a 4K for the hunter. So congratulations to HDO and
Yep.
GG's.
Um. Yep. Definitely a great match on both sides, I would say.
Yep.
Um. The issue, in my opinion, with this match is that you let the Goatman play.
Yeah.
You cannot have a Goatman and run free because you cannot underestimate the hunter. You have to remember that this character is a 4 kill hunter,
Yeah.
and you cannot you should prioritize having the strongest hunters banned, because had it been a clerk, yes, she can 4 kill as well, but you can still make a comp against her that would still work better than with Goatman.
Yep. Um, I honestly just think they forgot that Goma existed and just forgot to ban him for some. reason. Um, but yeah, really unfortunate, I would say, and
Mm-hmm.
really
But
well played from both sides.
yep, I would like to say that they both played well. Again, it's very exciting to see how you see one team has the upper hand and then right after they lose it and then they gain it again. It's very exciting and fun to see.
Yep. Um, it's a very it's a very close you know matchup with both sides winning and losing the advantage points. So it was a very interesting matchup, I would say. Thank you for tuning in, and is there anything you want to add to it, Seven?
Thank you. Thank you actually for giving us a chance to stream this match and I was very happy to commentate with you today. And also thank you everyone for joining in on this stream.
Mm, well, thank you for joining, and goodbye. See you guys in next
Bye.
matchup.